Good evening, namaste, hi everyone. Well, a lot of people have a lot of mistaken notions about what a guru should be. You know, they've read Autobiography of a Yogi, and they forget parts in it as to what is the traditional guru. They all want you to be something that's like Yogananda, which Yogananda was not fully realized, and they want you to be very syrupy sweet and loving and this and that. And when you say something to counter their drama, to break through their drama, they accuse you of being a cult, accuse you of all sorts of things. And so I wanted to read this excerpt that I had told some students before. I'm more of a very traditional guru, like Yukteswar. I'm not a Yogananda, okay? I'm not an Osho. I'm not there to sit there and tell jokes and yuck it up and take money and buy Rolls Royces and play games. I'm there to help people to break through their drama. Okay, so that's more of a traditional type of a guru. Like my guru, if somebody is there 15 minutes, if they're not there promptly, if they open their mouth one time, they're gone immediately, finished. Okay, he absolutely puts up with no nonsense whatsoever. They think I'm hard. I'm a piece of cake next to what my guru was like. Okay. So this is about Yogananda's guru, Yukteswar. So what is a genuine guru versus a version for the West? Okay, Yogananda was not a typical Eastern guru. And I want people to hear this and understand what's the difference, okay? People come after reading an autobiography of a yogi and they're expecting to have the softened version of a guru such as Yogananda. And when they find out they have the traditional version, such as a Yukteswar, then all manner of projections come into place, such as this is a cult and power corrupts and all this drama and projections they want to put here. Okay. They don't understand this type of a path, which is there to break through your mental conditionings, okay, to help you to break through all the drama that you continue to put into place, which is your undoing all this drama. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read this. So what you need to understand that this is a traditional guru. I'm a traditional guru, and I'm not going to pander to egos. And I'm not going to change the path as Yogananda was instructed to do, to work with those in the West. Why? Because you don't get to realization that way. And this guru, I am not interested in the superficial seekers. Okay? So I'm going to read Yogananda and Yukteswar's words, which will be following. So if this guru is a cult, then Yogananda came out of a cult. Okay? As what's given here is given in the same vein as Yukteswar gave to Yogananda and the seekers in India. Okay, this is from chapter 12, Years in My Master's Hermitage, from the Autobiography of a Yogi. Okay, I'm going to say, you know, if you don't remember this part, you might want to buy the book and read chapter 12. Refresh what it is to have a traditional guru versus this honey sweet version that you want, that's a new age type of a thing, that you know, ones that pander to the crowds, versus a guru that's working one-to-one to get you to realization. Okay. You have come, Sri Yukteswar greeted me from a tiger skin on the floor of a balconied sitting room. His voice was cold, his manner unemotional. Yes, dear master, I am here to follow you. Kneeling, I touched his feet. Well, okay, none here are required to touch the Guru's feet, nor kneel, although this is a traditional sign of respect for one's Guru in India. Okay. So he says, how can that be? You ignore my wishes. And Yogananda says, no longer, Guruji, your wish shall be my law. Yukteswar says, that's better. Now I can assume responsibility for your life. Okay. Guru can't work with you and assume that responsibility if you're not willing to surrender into the practice. You're not willing to surrender into what they say. You want to argue and fight every step of the way. Okay? That's why so many of them did not wish to be gurus. Ramana, Nisargadatta, they didn't want to be gurus. They just spoke from a place of realization. Okay? So he says, do you, I was saying, do you understand that it takes surrender? Okay, Yogananda fully surrendered to his guru. There wasn't argument, nor looking for pats on the head, nor looking for other worldly motives or spouting corruption or cult, since this is the normal type of guru-chela relationship. Understand what a traditional path is and is not. So Yogananda goes on to say, I willingly transfer the burden, Master. Yukteswar says, my first request is that you return home to your family. I want you to enter college in Calcutta. Your education should be continued. Very well, sir. I hid my consternation. Would importunate books pursue me down the years? First father, now Yukteswar. Someday you'll go to the West, and its people will lend ears more receptive to India's ancient wisdom if strange Hindu teacher has a university degree. Okay, he was already planning to send Yogananda to the West. Okay, so what admonitions are given from here are given for the benefit of the sadhaka. None of this is benefiting me. It's not benefiting the guru. Okay? So now Yogananda could have stormed away. But he understood that what was being given the direction for his benefit. Okay? Yogananda says, discipline had not been unknown to me. At home, father was strict. Ananta often severe. But Sri Yukteswar's training cannot be described as other than drastic. A perfectionist, my guru was hypercritical of his disciples, whether in matters of moment or in the subtle nuances of behavior. What do you mean he didn't speak in these soft, honeyed tones? Nor did he substantiate any of ego's stories? No, he was a guru, and what he gave needed to be given out of compassion. Okay? Yogananda goes on to say, Master was apparently satisfied with my spiritual progress, for he seldom referred to it. In other matters, my ears were no strangers to reproof. Okay? So he wasn't at every turn congratulating him on all of his spiritual attainment. Okay? He didn't hear it at every turn. There wasn't patting him and telling him how wonderful he's doing. Okay? So seekers that are going the correct way here, they hear much less from the guru than those that are needing to have the ego broken through. It's the way it is. Okay? He says, from transient teachers of my earlier life, I had imbibed a few erroneous lessons. A chela, I was told, need not concern himself strenuously over worldly duties. When I had neglected or carelessly performed my tasks, I was not chastised. Human nature finds such instruction very easy to assimilate. Under Master's unsparing rod, however, I soon recovered from the agreeable delusions of irresponsibility. A real, genuine guru that wants to get you to realization is not going to sit there and play to your ego. So again, what? Master's unsparing rod? You mean he didn't love him into understanding? The compassion gives the unvarnished truth whether ego wants to hear it or not. Okay? That's the way it is. And this is why, as a guru, I'm more like Kabir. I'm more like Yukteswar. I will stand up and confront what needs to be confronted. I'm not here to be a new age, oh, it's all love, it's all this, it's all that. Oh, let's just dance and float along together. That's not going to get anybody to realization. Let's continue on with what he has to say here. Those who are too good for this world are adorning some other, Sri Yukteswar remarked. So long as you breathe the free air of the earth, you're under obligation to render grateful service. He alone who has fully mastered the breathless state is freed from cosmic imperatives. I will not fail to let you know when you have attained the final perfection. And this is the way it is, okay? Once attained, this will be stated. But even when the mind falls away, one is not yet done. There's more to go. One renders grateful service, aka seva, as long as one is in the world. And this is what I did. I finished my path, and I made that promise that I would give this seva. When my guru asked me to be a guru, I assented and went forward to give this seva. Okay? Neither can the chant of a cult cause this guru to back down, as what's given is given clearly from the heart, and compassion isn't always syrupy sweet. Okay, there's the tough love of gurus that work to break through all the ego's ivory towers of mistaken notions. Okay, that's the way it is. So we go on. Whether Master and I were surrounded by his students or strangers, or we were alone, he always spoke plainly and upbraided sharply. Well, this is the way a traditional guru is. It's the New Age rhetoric that has this false notion that being forthright is abusive. A guru speaks the simply plain truth of the matter, and it's simply not softened so the ego's ears and mind can weave a tale around it of fantasy. That's not going to take place with a traditional guru or path. Okay? Let's go on. He says, no trifling lapse into shallowness or inconsistency escaped his rebuke. Thus, this flattening treatment was hard to endure, but my resolve was to allow Sri Yukteswar to iron out each of my psychological kinks. As he labored at this titanic transformation, I shook many times under the weight of his disciplinary hammer. Yogananda shook many times under the weight of the disciplinary hammer. Are you getting this? Was his guru honest, or are you going to say he was in a cult? Okay. Yukteswar told him, If you don't like my words, you're at liberty to leave at any time. Master assured me, I want nothing from you but your own improvement. Stay if you feel benefited. And this is the way it is, okay? None are constrained to stay. The door's always open to walk down the road. And most are sitting at home behind a computer screen, and they're chained where? Okay? So this idea that people are being abused is absolute, utter nonsense. Okay? Yogananda goes on to say, for every humbling blow he dealt at my vanity, for every tooth in my metaphorical jaw he knocked loose with this stunning aim, I'm grateful beyond any facility of expression. Don't you see that Yogananda was grateful for what was given, as he knew it was for his benefit? It wasn't for the benefit of ego. It was in place to break through ego and his egotistical stories that will choke and blind one to what's underneath. Here, rather than gratitude, people start yelling cult and other unsavory things as they're manufacturing a false idea of what a guru is and what a traditional guru does. Okay. Yogananda goes on to say, the hard core of human egotism is hardly to be dislodged except rudely. With its departure, the divine finds at last an unobstructed channel. In vain it seeks to percolate through flinty hearts of selfishness. Read the above a number of times. The hard core of human egotism is hardly to be dislodged except rudely. It isn't loved away. It's by hard truth. Okay. Sri Yukteswar's wisdom was so penetrating that, heedless of remarks, he often replied to one's unspoken observation. What a person imagines he hears and what the speaker has really implied may be poles apart, he said. Try to feel the thoughts behind the confusion of men's verbiage. Okay? And this is the truth of it. Okay? What a person imagines he's hearing and what the speaker, this guru, is saying has really implied and may be poles apart. Understand, on the net you're reading into what is being said and putting emotion behind it that's often not nearly the case. Seekers see anger when anger's the furthest thing from the truth of the matter. But because the words are strong, you assume there's anger in place. He said, but divine insight is painful to worldly ears. Master was not popular with superficial students. I read the above many times, okay? Divine insight is painful to worldly ears. Master was not popular with superficial students, and that's the way it is. Okay, most come here and they bail after a short time as they don't have the staying power to break through the ego stances they drag with them. Most want people like Nityananda that are going to play to their egos. Or like Osho, that would sit there and tell stories and jokes and, oh, you can do this and go have sex and do whatever. Or like Mahesh Yogi, okay? They don't want a traditional guru that works to get to somebody to realization. They want somebody that they can go play, pick it up and play and drop it and whatever, okay? So pure truth isn't valued. Clarity and pointed action isn't valued. Ego wants everything to be soft and cozy, but this isn't the path given by a traditional guru that's here to break through to realization. Those who understand how priceless and difficult a traditional guru and path is are those that understand its piercing truth and clarity. Okay. Yukteswar said, I am hard on those who come for my training. He admitted to me, that is my way. Take it or leave it, I'll never compromise. So as Yukteswar was, I am. You can take it or leave it. I'm not going to back down nor change or pander to cater to ego's whims and projections. This path is going to remain a traditional type of path. So if you can't stand the heat, then run for the door and stay out of the kitchen. You're here to be cooked until done. Okay? Until the meat softens and falls off the bones of its own accord. You're not here to be fed beer and massaged like Kobe beef. Okay? Hey, quit barking. But Yukteswar told Yogananda, you'll be much kinder to your disciples, that's your way. Yukteswar's way is, I try to purify only in the fires of severity, searing beyond the average tolerance. Understand this is this type of path. The Guru's not Yogananda. Focuses on breaking through ego, the same way that Yukteswar's focus was also on bringing realization. So he says, the gentle approach of love is also transfiguring. The inflexible and the yielding methods are equally effective as applied with wisdom. You'll go to foreign lands where blunt assaults on the ego are not appreciated. Most assuredly, they're not appreciated here. So for those that want to begin yelling cult, when the ego isn't perceiving the gentle approach and they're looking for a Yogananda, and they don't understand that not all gurus nor paths are going to work in that manner, Yukteswar never worked in that vein, and neither does this guru. It's not abusive to be firm and give pointed clarity at every turn, pulling the rug out from ego whenever it thinks it's found a place to rest. This is a very effective modality, but not one for every seeker. I'm not here to be a world guru like Yogananda. Okay? I'm not here to attempt to show the gentle truth to bring the religions together. I'm here to break through ego and to give that which will take those intent on going forward to realization. Yukteswar says, a teacher could not spread India's message in the West without an ample fund of accommodative patience and forbearance. I refuse to state the amount of truth I later came to find in Master's words. Okay. So as a guru, this is the traditional style of guru. There will be many coming and then yelling foul and attempting to make all sorts of declarations of being treated harshly, even projecting that this is a cult, simply because this guru is going to be uncompromising in what is given and how it's given. Even Yogananda, with all the love he preached, claims that he refuses to state the amount of truth he found in the Master's words. In other words, those of the West are going to fly off the handle and make all sorts of projections when their egos are assaulted. Well, the path to realization is simply that, breaking through the ego and melting it down in the fires and flames of the cauldron of practices and guidance, and burning away the dross of the mental fabrications and ego stances. As a guru, I'm going to continue to give what may be given in the best way to break through ego to truth. I'm not going to change this to suit the general public, nor the watered-down superficial seekers looking for a feel-good path to prop themselves up with. I'm not going to apologize for giving uncompromising guidance and the path to liberation. So, I will leave it there. And so many times on this path, I've had people that have just read something and they fly off the handle. Somebody hears something they don't like and they get their nose out of joint. You're directly honest with them. All of a sudden they want to start accusing you of being a cult and you're abusive and you're this and you're that, and you're working with them over the net. You have all manner of accusations. Okay? And you explain to them firmly in coming in, this is the path. The path is to confront the mind and confront the ego drama, to find out what's real and what's not real. Okay? To break through the delusions. Well, you're not going to do that if you want to go play fantasy and you want to chase realm after realm after realm. Okay? It's not going to happen. Okay? This is a path, this is a Kundalini path and a path to realization. That's what I've always taught. That's what I've always aided people with. If they want a feel-good path, they want to go play, and they can do that with New Age stuff. That's what they want to do. But there are very few traditional type of gurus that will work with people and give practices and aid them to break through the drama. Just very, very few. Why? Because you get a lot of flack. It takes a lot of steadiness to stand, and you don't back down. You don't. Okay? So that's what it is. And that's the difference between a Yogananda and a Yukteswar. Namaste. Have a great evening.